Right, welcome back. I hate life, but we're back again. Nah, this is a Saturday. This is like, Bird is ahead by about 2 weeks worth of videos. So, just to give you a rough idea of how everything's going. Massive shout out to Donko for the doc. If you missed my UBL one, where I said like, oh, great graphics are amazing, don't worry, they won't be disappearing, it'll be like the last 5 minutes. Now, Ubers, I personally find it a little bit easier to build because there's a lot more of a power creep going on in Ubers, more so than in general format play. That's really just because Ubers are just ridiculous. Like, you saw in my game against Aaron, like, Specs bloody, Xerneas does so much more. And I've just spilt water all over my crotch, but it's hot today, and I'm going to enjoy it. So, pretty much what do we identify at Team Preview? Well, Hawlucha's bloody brilliant. And the way to get Hawlucha to start sweeping things is actually through Zygarde this week. I really want to bring 1,000 Aways at Zygarde. Like, Kroku, but 1,000 Arrows Zygarde. Because I could alternatively run, like, Coil Toxic, but I just, is Coil Toxic better? I mean, do I really need Toxic? Couldn't I just be Coil 1,000 Arrows? What does Haunch create? What's Coil's type? Coil's poison. Gosh, I've got good choices now. Nah, Subtoxic is still better because you got Avalug there. I don't want to be lefties. Avalug is the best answer to Zygarde after Shaman. Just ask Big Ez, he knows all about tables. So now I've got that sorted. So what does that tell me? So I've got Zygarde. Zygarde can't touch the Togekiss outside of Toxic. Can't touch Jirachi if it's like Cosmic Power for whatever reason, because it's relying on 1,000 waves. However, it does mean that Mega Metagross always has to come. Mega Metagross is so good. I want to bring Grass Knot this week. Where's Grass Knot? This is a tough Claws boost as well, which is absolutely ridiculous. Meteor Mash is definitely something I want for Kiss. I think, now do I want Zen? I want Earthquake, 110%. This kid likes Pachirisu, and I understand why he likes Pachirisu, but it gets hard walled by Palossand, and Palossand looks kind of nice in this matchup because, okay, so here's ultimately what we have to think about, right? Speed boost Blaziken exists, and to ignore its existence is a pretty big crime, just in general. So I think what we're going to do here is going to make this add Bullet Punch. Now, because we're going to be bulky as Zygarde, actually, but then again, so like, we do also have Hawlucha. Hawlucha is going to be jolly this week, just because I want to creep some +2 mons, and with Unburn, I can have Acrobatics, which will be nice. I think Acrobatics SD is going to be the crucial move. He does have that Kofag, which is sort of interesting. Now, what makes Kofagrigus so interesting is just the general annoyance of a Kofagrigus. Because obviously with Hawlucha you only get one Electric Seed off. However, I'm thinking, let's go Scarf Coco here. What's his ground? It's Rhydon. Sweet. He does have that Pachirisu too, so we're gonna have Grass Knot, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch this week. Choice Scarf Coco, because that way we have a secondary answer to this thing. Yeah. I'm just trying to think, what do I want to do here? I mean, this is just where you have to start like trying to consider your resources in Uber's leagues, and this is why Ubers are a lot harder to sort of quote-unquote play against. Still looking for my first win in Uber's format as well. That's something also to take note of. See, like 1,000 Arrows, 1,000 Waves could be better, but that means I would have to give up Protect because of it. Or I could be 1,000, I could be Coil, like, Rhydon also is an annoyance to Zygarde, so I do think that, like, this set is going to be better. The only mon I don't touch is Cosmic Power Jirachi. And I think, like, if I get, like, so let's say theoretically, right? He goes Avalon, I click Toxic. He goes, okay then, I'm going to go for a Rapid Spin or something. I click Protect. He's taken a lot of damage already, and now it comes to my whole, like, Stealth Rock conundrum, because I don't have the best rockers on my team. That's just more so that's not a prep thing, that's more of a draft thing, if that makes sense. Now, we do need to probably get a move that hits Kofag, but doesn't get rid of our ability, because if we lose our ability, does this thing get entrainment? Ooh, baby! Aye! Ay. Entrainment for the Kofag. Ooh. You could also entrain the Blaziken to get rid of its fucking speed boost. I do love the classic entrainment set. It is a bird favorite. For those of you who don't know when I used it last, Moosey Boy, you remember that one. I could go for me first, but it would only be like Shadow Ball. I mean, it has probably one of the shittest special attacks I know a Pokemon can have. Throat Chop would actually be a lot nicer, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go Throat Chop here, just because I want to. I think HJK has to be my final move. I think we're going to try to play for a sweep with Hawlucha late game. So that does mean that we do have to get rid of that Kofag early, and that's why we have this beautiful fucking boy here, my Zygarde. Now, when it comes to what is going to be the other two supporting members, it's definitely something to be considerate of. Volcarona isn't going to be as nice as matchup because he does have a lot of death mons like Kiss. I do think Alola Muck is a must, just because of the way that we've constructed this team. I think as well that we're going to have the I want Shadow Sneak on this thing. I want a lot of priority this week just to pressure some of his mobs. I do think when looking at this matchup as well, because we don't have any T-Spike would have been sort of nice. Here's Rocker's Jirachi. Rhydon. So that's important though, but Jirachi and Rhydon both don't want to take hits from Mega Gross. Mega Gross outspeeds everything. If he's not Protect Blaziken, he gets into a hand fill. Alola Muck does have that Shadow Sneak. I'm just trying to think, do I want to go EV? Or what sort of set I want to go? Because I definitely think that the last one I sort of want this week is going to be my own Scarf Shaman. Because Shaman just clears a lot of his team. Actually, even Life Orb Shaman could be really nice this week. I think Shaman's going to be the last one. I think I might go Ockerberry actually. Because we'd have a Alola Muck here for the Shaman Sky. If he does want a choice like himself. Shaman did a really good performance in week 1, so we're going to go Seed Flare. Seed Flare Earth Power here, it looks really nice, then Leech Seed again. And then Synthesis really, I don't see a real reason not to be this sort of Shaman again. Because we do have a natural cure, so we do have a quote-unquote designated Aloe answer. So let's say, for example, actually no, we need Air Slash. Okay, so let's run through some scenarios. Shaman Sky weakness. It's kind of embarrassing that I don't know what Shaman's weaknesses are. 4 times weak to ice. And does Air Slash help me with any other mon but HBI? Nah, I prefer HB Ice this week because I can hit Shaman Sky and I can hit that Flygon super effectively. And Power Ice. Okay, so now I'm just re-evaluating. Do I want Muck? Muck is like quote-unquote my best Togekiss answer though. Because it's also important to note that Zygarde can't touch Kiss, so if it's Nasty Block, actually if it's Nasty Block Kiss, it could be a massive fucking problem. Just in general. We do have Coco though, which can Volt Switch on that Kiss. If he does bring that Rhydon, what do I lead? I'd lead Shaman, genuinely, because the only mon that I don't mind, or don't want that matchup against, is that Blaziken, and I think as well, I might look at, no, I don't want Rest, because it could give, we saw the issue with Rest game 1 this season. We've already seen that, but, now as well, because we don't have any, we might have to go Gluttony. But because I want Toxic on my Muck. He doesn't have any spikes. He only has rocks. How much does Volibee take? Oh, no, Goth would do better, surely. Also, as well, like, Shaman's a really nice fucking Pachirisu answer if he wants to bring the Patchy. As well, like both Patchy, Patchy, if it's Super Fangs, I go into my Shaman and Synthesis up on. It'd be Nuzzly Nuzzles. Yeah, the question is, do I want Palossand? I think Palossand's sort of better than Alola Muck this game. Now people be like, oh, you're prepping for his Mega Blaziken more than Shaman Sky. That's mainly because I think Shaman Sky gets dealt with. Hello, Sam. How do I spell Hello, Sam? It's looking embarrassing. Hello, Sam. I mean, Kane could also be sort of nice this matchup. I'm just trying to think how much does... What's Shaman Sky's thing again? Isn't it like 127, 127? Okay, so it's 120, 127. It does lose to Coco though. And it loses to Hawlucha. Late game, that is. So the question is, what do I want as my last slot? I could try to Beering Volcarona, lead Volk on Jirachi or Rhydon. Be like Charty Berry, Quiver Dance up, Giga Drain. I don't think that's going to do much. Lapras, like Specs Lapras could also be a nice bring this game. Because you do hit that Flygon with Ice Shard, you can hit Freeze Dry pretty freely against his team. Jirachi doesn't really want to switch into much. Actually, hang on, how much does Lapras do to a Shaman Sky with Ice Shard? PU Choice Specs V Shaman Sky. Gosh, that's so much damage. I shot us 50%. I think we're bringing Lapras, boys and girls. That's going to be fun. Because you get rid of everything else with Zygarde. Zygarde just toxics everything. It just toxic protects. Sweet. You brought the other lug in. It's toxic now. I protect. You're going to go Surf. Ice Shard. Does it get a Dark move? I could run Bandit as well. That's the other scary thing. I'm gonna like. We definitely need Freeze Dry. Do we have Freeze Dry yet? No. Okay. Because that also hits Flygon really hard, and also as well, I said earlier, like as soon like Patchy allows Shaman to come in every time, and then I can synthesis it up. Then let's say you go Shaman Sky. I could be AV Lapras for Shaman Sky as well. Which is actually very tempting, not gonna lie, because Shaman Sky, Seed Flare. Is Seed Flare super effective on Lapras? Must be. I thought it'd be neutral. Lapras weakness. I think like, why doesn't Bird know his type rating? I don't know what this shit does. Why would I ever know what my mons do? Oh, not, I'm gonna stop like sitting down. I keep forgetting, sorry guys. Sorry boys and girls at home. It is weak to grass. Lapras? But then again, I only really need... I mean, I could go Assault Vest here, but Choice Specs. Oh, that Dingo. Could go Never Melt Ice as well, really. What if I went Quiet? That makes it a little bit more nicer, and then Never Melt Ice. The 68% to Shaman Sky. It would mean Blaze can come in freely, but he'd have to HJK. And then I gotta check my damage calc. I'm just trying to think, how do I not allow Blaziken to come in freely after it? But then again, I got Shaman Sky. I have my beautiful Lapras. I mean, I could go Dragon Dance theoretically. Dragon Dance up on the Shaman Sky. Then, because I think +1 Ice Shot would kill it. And like, go Dragon Dance. Freeze Dry, but no, that's a little bit too outrageous. I'd rather something a little bit more reliable. I'd rather be like Steadfast or something. I'd rather be like a Custap, and like allow myself to be put into a position where I live a Seed Flare, which I don't think is going to be possible realistically. Because unless I'm like 2v2, yeah, there's no real way I'm going to live that Seed Flare, any day of the world. So it is going to be annoying to try to stop the Blaziken then from coming in and revenging everything, because however, if I have regular Shaman here, are you offensive? The Mega Blaziken, which is going to be Uber SD. Okay, let's say I'm Ockerberry. Ockerberry takes... So, like, here's the thing, right? It'd be a 50-50. I'd Surf. I'd always Surf first. My Lapras, as he gets the +1 boost. But how well does Blaziken take Coco? OU default. T-Bot. Okay, so he doesn't take it that well, because I'm going to be Scarf as well. Then he'll be at +2, and then my Hawlucha will outspeed him, so that shame, so like, I force it, like, unless he's Protect, I force him in a lot of bad positions early on, because even then, right, how much does, like, Zygarde take? OU Showdown usage. Yeah, Zygarde at most takes 59%, I think that's neutral, so yeah, so that's something to note as well, like, but will more likely be something more like this, 252 Impish. It's probably going to be more likely what my spread's going to be, because I don't want to be too short by this thing. Okay, so that's really good to note. I think Blaziken's best move to hit Zygarde. I think he might have HP Ice though. Because gosh, that's a really high special attack stat. Power Ice to this Zygarde set. How much will HP Ice do? HP Ice does 48. Okay, so that's really good to note. So he can't feasibly win the game from that position. And that's what I'm also trying to do here. Is I don't really mind allowing him to get into a position that is favorable. I don't have Defog on my team, so that does mean that Lapras and Hawlucha don't have as many switch-ins as they would like, but it does mean that I do have Mega Metagross. We haven't really talked about Mega Metagross, but the more and more I look at this, Mega Metagross stops so much when he safe. Forces Blaziken to go for that Protect, because I'm always clicking Earthquake every time I fucking see a Blaziken on my screen. It's not hard. Oh, Maryland. So good. I'm looking at my Twitter feed because I'm bored. So, we have that. So that's important to know. So like Mega Metagross here puts a dent in a lot of his mobs. So dents the Rhydon, you know, like the best way he can quote unquote revenge it is with Honchkrow. But Honchkrow really doesn't want to take a Meteor Mash or Thunder Punch. Actually, Thunder Punch doesn't cover that Alola and Rhydon. But Earthquake does, Meteor Mash does, Bullet Punch does, because I do like having this priority in, because I do seem to be able to fucking choke anything away at the moment. So we really want to get over that mentality, and I think the best way to do so is by putting mons like this into a favourable position. Things like Scarf Coco, for example, can revenge half his team. If he wants to bring the Pachirisu every fucking time in on my Coco, I'm like, okay, let's look at Pachirisu, right? Because Pachirisu on a world, so you know it has to take it, you know. Let's say he's Assault Vest, right? And I go into Zygarde and just Toxic him. What does Pachirisu do then? Let's say, for example, he understands that I'm going to go for Toxic, goes hard into Skuntank as I go for 1,000 waves. Like, this is where this Zygarde set this week is going to, like, come up to trumps, is that it can just work. Like, it's going to put so much pressure onto his team, because let's get rid of all this, right? That's max Pachirisu, right? I think Waves is the exact same power output. 1,000 waves, yeah, is exact. It's like, look, this is doing 54% min to max Pachirisu. Let's say for example he decides to be what he brought against Jitsu Week, which was Careful. But you know, it's doing 80%. That just means my Coco just gets into a better position. And with Coco as well, I don't really want to be clicking Volt Switch in the beginning. I want to be clicking Grass Knot. That may not do a lot of Pachirisu, but if he tries to be cheeky, go in a Rhydon. I don't really mind that, because Rhydon doesn't give me such a bad matchup, because I've still got things on my team that can take it. Let's say it's Rock Polish Rhydon, right? Oh shit, what am I going to do next? I'm coming back in with Coco and get on my Grass Knot. I have Hawlucha. Hawlucha is always going to be my late game win condition here. There is no reason for me to, theoretically, take out Hawlucha before I've taken out Rhydon and Kofag. Now, why Rhydon Kofag? But you've got Throat Chop for Kofag, because I don't want to lose that on Burden. I've said that about 30 fucking times in this video, I just fucking know it. I want to keep going with this Lapras. Now, what do I want this Lapras to have? How much does a Lapras? Lapras PU. Yeah, that's good. So, let's say Specs. So even here, look, Specs does so much. Totokiss is going to be one of the most conservative. So we're going to never melt ice. So Freeze Dry does that. Ice Beam does 68%. So we're going to go Ice Beam here. We're going to go never melt ice. I don't want to be Specs. Because I don't feel like I need to. I'm going to be 252. I think I'm going to be quiet. Because the only Mon around... Actually, no, hang on. What speed's Rhydon? I want to be faster than Alola by 1 point. Be 167. No, 169 I think I want to be. That's level 50. That's level 100 actually. Alright, what's the next fastest Mon? Yeah, Rhydon's max 40. Okay, so let's be faster than maybe full speed Honchkrow. Honchkrow. 4. 93 we want to be. Lapras at level 50. Beautiful, beautiful Lapras. I think we're going to go Modest now, but then again we do get a lot of damage increased, which is what I want to see with my beautiful, beautiful Lapras. And even at level 50 it has so much HP. I don't really, like, Air Slash is 23% to me, but that's fine by me because I do have, I know Ice Beam into Ice Shard will probably drop it. And on top of that as well, remember how I said earlier, like, I want to look at what items are best? Like, by being Never Melt Ice, I can be Bluff and Jolly Specs for the amount of ice moves I hit. But see, like, even here, Ice Beam plus Ice Shard, it's good, like, it takes a 79% roll to do something. I actually may up the, special attack I have on my Lapras. On my physical attack, sorry. Let's look at 36. 24. So I want to get it to a stage where Ice Shard is 26, Ice Beam does. Let's see if I can get it to a stage where I'm happy with it. 120. Let's say, because we were testing without Modest earlier, let's say we went naive, right? 105. $60. 92. So 92 would mean that. Let's go a little bit more. Let's go 124. Let's go a little bit more. 130. 160. Because I don't want to allow that thing to come in freely. I'm going to look at Jirachi caps now. Jirachi from a level 50. How much do you take from a Surf? You don't have that boost anymore, but Surf's was, you know, a sizable chunk. But as I said earlier, Jirachi I think has to be that Moonblast set. Jirachi event. Okay, it can be any nature, that's important, but it has to be shiny. That gives away a lot of information. I'm just trying to think now, is it better to be like this and try to get to 100? Yeah, it is actually. Then 52, because I want to make sure that when I play this Shaman, how much does it take from an Ice Shard at level 50? That's 75%. That is really good because that's all I care about. Is I want to put it in range of the next hit. That's all I want Lapras to do this week. Is I want to make sure that my Lapras puts Shaman Sky in a compromisable position. It's never going to take a HJK from whatever the fucking thing is, Mega Blaziken. But what I always want to do is I don't want to allow him to think that he's safe. As well, that won't do too much to Kofag, but as I said, I got a very fat Zygarde, which is going to be physically defensive straight from the get-go. There's no real reason for me not to do that. So let's go level 50. Let's go 252, 252, 4. Now, as I said earlier, like, I want this Zygarde to be really fucking fat. I don't want to allow his moms to get free moves against me. I want to make sure that we're going to do some calcs later on where I want to make sure that this thing can't be broken by another Lomo. If he wants to go the fucking Patchy, he always has to know this. He's fucked. If he tries to go Patchy on Coco because he wants to, I will get to a stage where I start hard in, go into Zygarde. He can opt to try to Super Fang my Zygarde. I will just set up a substitute. And then you'll go, oh, but then he can do it. Yep, but it's only 25%, it's only 12%. And I'm behind a sub and I'll protect. I'll get a little bit more HP back and I'll just go for 1,000 waves and kill the bloody thing. Because Coco is going to do a job. You know, once you start, and we've already mentioned here that we want my Hawlucha to outspeed, you know, base 100. So let's look at this a little bit. Level 50 Blaziken, Adamant, Mega Blaziken, Jolly. Okay, so we can be adamant, which is so good. That's what I want to see. 236. 252 adamant. That's going to allow my Coco just to... Not my Coco, my Luchum also to go absolute ham. Which I want it to do. 155. Drop this attack a little bit. Sweet. We'll go 2-3. Yeah, that's fine. But like the whole point of this whole Lucha this week is to make sure that actually what is more to Jirachi? Slow kick 2 to it. Nah, it doesn't. It's not heavy enough, so that means we'll have to rely on Throat Chop against it. Throat Chop does less than HJK, but if we are predicting that that annoying the Wish Protect combo, we can always do that. But then again, as I said earlier in the match, once Zygarde traps anything, it can be game from any position on the board. Because, like, let's take for example, like Kill the Kofag. Hawlucha can win the game at that moment, essentially, because unless he gets a triple protect off to win the game, it's very hard for him to just look. I'm not trying to be rude, but if he gets a triple protect off to win this game, he got very lucky, and he can take it as a win. But I'll take it as the same as like Tom Brady snapping his neck mid Super Bowl game. And it's pretty much the exact same way that I look at it. It's such a rare occurrence that if it theoretically happens, it's just fucking shit. Mega Metagross. At 50. Okay, so we know Earthquake to non-defensive Jirachi will 2-shot. The more important one is Togekiss. Okay, so let's say we get rid of everything. How much do we need? 36. Let's go 12. So 12 is all we need to OHKO this Togekiss. The speed stat has already been established that this is the speed stat we want for this game of 168. Because as I said earlier, the Shaman Sky is being held hostage by a fucking Lapras. Jolly 168. Because provided that my Mega Metagross doesn't allow him to keep a substitute up, my Lapras can theoretically click Ice Shot on me. So that's another thing to note. Zygarde gets rid of both the Jirachi and the Mega Blaziken. Because here's the thing, right? This is what I'm thinking in my head. I lead Coco. If I see the fucking patchy thing in the back, or I see Jirachi, or I see Rhydon, I just lead Zygarde. And I just click Toxic. I'm probably going to most likely lead Zygarde this week. Very few on his team wants to deal with it. And I do also have Protect for that fucking Flygon thing. But I don't know, I'll probably just lead Scarf Coco or something to see what happens in the matchup. This is actually a little bit of a volatile matchup in terms of what I want to lead. Now, so once we've established this, so let's Jirachi, oh, you Stealth Rock. That's Jirachi, oh you wish, still the same. Earthquake is a guaranteed 3-hit KO. So that means if it's with Protect, it's going to be annoying, but at +1, that should be a 2-hit KO, surely? Yeah. Honchkrow. How much does a Sucker Punch from a Honchkrow do to a Mega Metagross? Sucker Punch. So let's say theoretically, right? Let's say we have all this bulk. We're not +1. Oh, neutral. Medium Mash still guarantees the KO. So let's say we got this, right? So let's say we put 60 into defense. How much does that help our Sucker? No, but here's the thing though. He Sucker Punches, we Meteor Mash, we Bullet Punch the next turn, drop it. And then we still have Scarf Coco. Let's look at the fucking table thing. PU defensive spinner. Let's say it's this one. I don't really care if it's like fucking anything else. Because I don't rate this table thing, alright? So we need a little bit more just to make it a 2-shot or max. Let's make 64. More than that, 96. 96, let's make it 128. 128 makes a 5.9% chance to Oko. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. 128. Which means we've got 16 EVs to play with. And I think I'm most likely just going to go 12 in defense. Actually, no, we're going to calc our Grass Knot to Rhydon. Rhydon, and you tank. Let's go to a Grass Knot from a Mega Metagross. Grass Knot at level 50. There's 73% to Rhydon. And Earthquake doesn't do enough back. Now let's look at a Alola. Hello, Alola, but as I said earlier, we do have Shaman in this match, which will handle the Alola Knight quite nicely. We only do 29%, but I do think that's really all I really care about. I think I'm going to go 12-4. Because once that Grass Knot goes off on that Rhydon, it's not going to be fun for him. And this is where like leading Zygarde against his team could be really nice, because let's say I lead Zygarde, he leads Jirachi 1,000 waves at turn 1. If it's not shiny, it could be HB Ice, it could be Dazzling Gleam, but I want 1,000 waves it. If he leads, let's say he leads Togekiss, right? I can Toxic, I can protect turn 1 to see what he wants to do to me. But yeah, that'll give away a lot of my set, but it is going to be a very, very stally sort of game. And on top of that, let's say I Toxic his Flygon. Baby. Let's say I Toxic most of his team. Like, theoretically, right, he relies a lot upon having Mega Blaziken, Rhydon, Jirachi healthy against my team. 2 of those monsters I want to take a ground move. You know, Togekiss, that wants to take 1,000 arrows. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm Toxic this week. I'm also care about the Toxic. A Toxic Protect. Okay, the Togekiss is Nasty Plot. Right. What does that mean? Sack Coco, go into Hawlucha. Because once that Togekiss is weakened, once that cough's gone, you know, like that's the mentality you gotta have going into this game. Like Flips taught me this mentality early on when I was playing my mons, that you don't want to be thinking about what they're doing. Like Gypsy's never thinking to himself like, oh, my team's gonna lose to like, you know, Tailwind Nasty Plot Togekiss, Baton passes it into Special Mega Blaziken to win the game. He's more like, oh, I can, if he does that play and I have my Lapras in, I can just surf and, you know, whatever, he might go into Blaziken and it does 60% to it. You know, like, that's the way that he plays the game from what my understanding of a lot of these guys is. So why not play it the exact same way, my friends? Coco. Defog Pivot. Thunderbolt. At 50. Sweet, that's all I want to know. Pachirisu. I want to know what he wants to bring this. This is the way that I look at. Like, I think of him like a Carney or a Bill Standish. They're not always going to bring what some tryhards are going to say is the most optimal set. They're trying to bring the sets that they're going to have the most fun with. You know, if they dunk you with a Pachirisu, like for them that's like Christmas. 10 years, like for 10 years straight. Like look at this, right? Assault Vest, possible 5-hit KO, right? That's fine because I get to creep Scarf Shaman Sky. I get to do this. Let's say it's level 50. 50 T-Bolt does that much, Dazzling Gleam does that much. And we want to be faster than we want to be 197 speed at level 50. Well, we want to make sure that a lot of his Ubers get shut down. You know, Scarf Coco with Dazzling Gleam's going to hit Flygon. Like, let's look at Flygon for example. Are you Dragon Dance? Because Dragon Dance is a very viable set. Dazzling Gleam knocks that out. You know, it's what I want to have. When I played Aaron, I went in with a very similar mentality of like, I want to build this, and then this, but I just forgot when it came to the game what it did. Because I spent so long trying to remember what it did. I need to really do a team builder for that one. So we now have everything but this Shaman. Now this Shaman has one job. Shaman. Are you Leech Seed? Against Mega Blaziken. I want this to live a +2 Flairless, if possible. Ockerberry. bold. I'll take those fucking odds any day. Takes 44% recoil. Imagine if you carried him on with recoil and then didn't take recoil. Like, look at this, right? Like, let's say it's Jolly. We live +2 Jolly. So, like, once you handle those big threats in these drafts, I personally think it makes the game a lot easier. You know, we're trying to deal with Flygon, trying to deal with Alola. Now, to look at it one more time, because I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything glaringly obvious. Carmine Jirachi can definitely be a nuisance this game. That's something to always take into account. However, we do have a Seed Flare Shaman, but then again, we are relying upon Zygarde. I do think that the Zygarde spread definitely needs to be optimized. So let's go to Zygarde. Can I make my Zygarde less heavy? Low kick does 400%. Adam. Sweet. Let's say I come in, I take 6% from rocks, take lefties, I get back up another 6, essentially at full. I'll always be at full against it, because that's the way that I want to do. Let's go 200. I mean, then again, you always got the risk of him going for another fucking SD, but I'm really good. I really haven't seen Mega Blaziken used well, ever. I've seen Stab trying to use it at the moment. You know, that man thinks SD is always the play with it. Okay, so that's what I need, 252, 220. We're going to say, oh, we should have done the other way around, but I want more HP than anything. Togekiss. What's Togekiss's bait? Okay, so they really like these fast kisses. Which I think will 145. Yeah, I'm not creeping fucking that shit. I just refuse to. So, it's such a waste of my time. That could absolutely backfire on me, but I'm still thinking it's an absolute waste of my time. Jirachi, let's go Moonblast. Because that's something obvious. Let's say it's Calm. It's a guaranteed 3 KO after Rocks and Recovery. What if I put 36 in the Spadef? 87 very. But then again, I do have the Recovery. But 1,000 arrows is just a little bit shy of a 2-shot, so I think I'm going to put 4 in there at least. Make it 12. Yeah, so that's a guaranteed 2-shot now. That's more so what I care about. I still got 20 EVs to go. That's always important to note. I don't really think I need much more speed. I think I'm just going to put straight in special defense here and put 400 speed. I think that's my Zygarde optimized. Yeah, so next meme. That's always going to be the transition. Hey there, and welcome to the team 10-minute section. So we have Tapu Koko, Zygarde, Hawlucha, Volcarona, Alola Mach, Shaman, Volibee, Gothorita, Lapras, Kangaskhan, Palossand, Mega Metagross, and we are taking on the Puffy Pachirisu, who's coached by not Lucas or Sparks the God or some shit like that. He has a Mega Blaziken, which is Speed Boost, has a Shaman Sky, which can be Z-Move, which is very important to know. Jirachi, Togekiss, Alola Mola, Cofagrease has the triple Hax Core as the wise put on into one set. Skuntank, Rhydon, Honchkrow, Avalok, Flygon, and Pachirisu. So we built a team this week to really try to upset his defensive tendencies to allow Hawlucha to sweep. Our first one on the team is always going to be our big boy Koz. He's the Zygarde. You know, Koz. Oh, I've got a nickname. I know what some of these nicknames are, but I'll make up some others if I can't be bothered. So 1,000 Waves, Substitute, Protect, Toxic. It's pretty much Vinkun, but Zygarde. Zygarde this week doesn't really need 1,000 arrows. The monster that will hit is Togekiss and Flygon. I'd rather try to Toxic Stall them and go. It could also cost me late game if, you know, it comes to 1v1 and I miss like 35 Toxics and miss like 35 Air Slashes. And actually, let me just run this calc now. Let's see how much Zygarde takes from Togekiss Air Slash at level 50. Close to 52. Yeah, it's Not even a 3-shot. That's fine. We'll get a Toxic if we win that game, because we always just protect. You protect every second turn, and you can sub. His Zygarde, famous last words by the Flying Bird. The EV investment means we take a +2 low kick from Mega Blaziken, which is the hardest move to hit Zygarde with. He can run HJK, but I do have that Protect, which was not even intentional. The attack investment means that 1000 Waves is always a 2-shot on Jirachis, and there's pretty much not else too much to explain. Mega Metagross, big boy. Who is a big boy? I think this one will be Squaw. The man, the myth, the legend. I miss you, my man. Hope you're doing well, Casey. So we have Grass Knot, Meteor Mash, Earthquake, and Bullet Punch. So the whole premise of this set is I have a lot of speed this week, so I want to outspeed Mega Blaziken and Jolly. That's the benchmark. Then I have Grass Knot because it does 75% to a Rhydon. And then I have Meteor Mash, Earthquake, Bullet Punch because I want priority for Mega Blaziken in case it goes a bit rogue. Not blue rogue, just regular rogue. Also as well, it just helps me a little bit out in this matchup. Bullet Punch is also nice for Togekiss late game. If it's like a Scarf Togekiss, I don't want to have to play through bullshit shenanigans. Unless it's with my Zygarde, of course, because I just mentioned I'm fine to do so. Also helps against Avalog. And Bullet Punch also helps me 1v1 a Honchkrow because I can Meteor Mash and then go for Bullet Punch and take out that Honchkrow. So next up we have the Holucha. Dang, gotta think of it. You can be Daniki. You won a title. Good boy, Daniki. You're not like Bird. You know how to win a title. So, when I was thinking about this set this week, I wanted Acrobatics, SD, Throat Chop, High Jump Kick. Throat Chop is not a meme, it's a very good move because it's Holucha's best dark coverage to Jirachi and Cofagrigus. The main thing for allowing this to be a win con this week is actually the removal of Cofagrigus. It also serves as a secondary check, provided that I attack Coco, go into a Holucha the following turn, as Blaziken, unless it's at +3, will not outspeed me. It might actually be even a bit more, but I can't really run those numbers. I think it's because at +2, yeah, if we're both at +2, I outspeed him because I creep that. And if he's at +3, I don't, but that's okay. Next up we have Scarf Coco. This is meant to speed creep that Mega Blaziken at +1 speed. It also means that with the addition of Grass Knot, means it can help check the Rhydon, and also Dazzling Gleam helps check DD Flygon. The also Volt Switch this week may seem a little bit polarizing considering he's got 2 ground types and a Pachirisu. However, both of those will allow other monsters to take advantage of it. In particular, Flygon can be taken advantage of by my Shaman because it's max, but also as well with the Lapras and Lapras, the big old but only boy, will be explained next. We'll be Shaman next. So yeah, so we got Randy this week. You know, he's looking for some fun. Next up we have Shaman. You can be Carson. God bless you, man. Now this week it's just max with an Ockerberry to takes a Jolly Flare Blitz from Mega Blaziken at +2. That's really what I want to do. Earth Power puts it in range that if it doesn't kill, I have a beautiful Mega Metagross and a Lapras with Ice Shard to kill it. Also as well with Ockerberry, it does help with random fire coverage moves, just in general. HP Ice is for Shaman and Flygon and helps it better. Also hits Honchkrow super effectively. Seed Flare is because I'd rather chunk the Alola down. And I can also Seed Flare, go for some Spit Drops and Earth Power. And we saw it against Aaron, that could be very, very helpful. Next up we have Lapras. Now this Lapras this week, the reason why it is this one is mild is because it's actually a better AV investment and allows me to have a Ice Shard that could potentially kill Shamans after 12% of prior chip damage, which is very good. Ice Shard with Never Melt Ice is the reason why. I could have went Specs but decided that Never Melt Ice would allow for more Ice Shard damage. Also hits Honchkrow really hard, Flygon. Surf is there because it's best move to hit Jirachi and Rhydon. Freeze Dry is there because it also hits Alola super effectively, and Ice Beam does that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. As I said in my UBL D-League video, if you guys prefer this sort of live team builder aspect, then let me know in the comment section below. If you're just someone that wants to watch the last 10 minutes, go for it. But until next time, peace.